Hello, this is Pastor Matthew Woods from Grace Lutheran Church, New Albany, Indiana, and this is the weekly devotion for January 4th, 2021. We've titled today's devotion, Into the Unknown. Well, first devotion for 2021. I hope you had a blessed Christmas with all your loved ones, and as I can imagine, there are many lingering things that might be going on this new year. Thanks to 2020, they don't just go away, but eventually they will. The vaccines for COVID are being distributed. Infection rates will eventually drop. We'll eventually get back to school, I'm sure. And we'll carry on the year with a whole lot of new unknowns that we face. We don't always know what the next year will bring, but it seems like we always bring it in with fireworks and ball drops and new hope. And why not? You never know what the Lord might bring. Well, this is sort of how the Israelites left Egypt. They were excited, they were victorious, they were happy, celebratory. But once they are confronted with the unfamiliar and the difficult, the life in the desert, if you will, they are starting to have some second thoughts. I picked a reading from Exodus chapter 16, verses 6 through 8 today to talk about that. The Israelites are only into their second month after leaving Egypt. The excitement has waned. The food that they brought with them has run out. And they're beginning to wonder what they've gotten themselves into. So verse 6 says, "So Moses and Aaron said to all the Israelites, 'In the evening you will know that it was the Lord who brought you up out of Egypt. And in the morning you will see the glory of the Lord, because he has heard your grumbling against him. Who are we that you should grumble against us?' Moses also said, 'You will know that it was the Lord when he gives you meat to eat in the evening and all the bread you want in the morning, because he has heard your grumbling against him. Who are we? You're not grumbling against us, but against the Lord.'" Now, we all know, the desert doesn't grow food. Most did not dwell there for obvious reasons, and yet Moses was leading the Israelites straight into the desert via Mount Sinai. By this point, parents are anxious for the well-being of their children, no doubt, just as many parents would be over this last year and maybe the year to come. The people's stomachs are beginning to grumble, and so are they, against God and against Moses. They have no idea what's coming next, and they're beginning to wonder if they might die from hunger before they find out. And they're getting angry because of it. Or should I say, hangry. Truth is, we never know what's coming next. My mom, who's undergoing cancer treatments, has said to me more than once that if she knew back when what she knows now, she would have just not done the whole thing at all. Maybe we can just skip the chemo and go right to the recovery, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Likewise, I've heard from another friend who had a major heart surgery last year. He said the same thing. If I'd known then what I know now, I don't know that I would have gone through it. Sometimes I would submit to you that it's better not to know what comes next and just to leave it into the Lord's care, especially when recovery is slow or the outcome is not exactly what we imagine. All we have are the skills and experience of doctors to help us through it. All the Israelites had were the skills and the leadership of Moses and Aaron, and they of course had the best ally of all, God himself. He knew what he was doing. On the other hand, the unknown also holds fascination to it. It is a mystery to be solved. Historically, when people traveled the oceans in sailing vessels once upon a time back in the Middle Ages, discovery of the world, Columbus and all of those types, the new world was eventually discovered and America came to be. There was a sense of adventure to it. The unknown was also a course of learning. The moon was the same way. If you look ahead, moon was an unknown. We just saw it in the sky and we wondered about it. But somewhere along the way, we expanded our minds, expanded our learning in a multiple number of steps, but we finally pushed our limits to the point where we could get there. The human engineering of it all is still amazing. And we're doing that again today in hopes of getting to Mars. And the unknown, and all of those things, the thing that ties them together is the magnetism, the need to discover what's out there. The unknown for the Israelites, I would say, was all of the above. They imagined the promised land to be a walk in the park rather than a walk in the desert. And maybe if they'd known what was ahead, they might not have gone for it. But the Lord was patient with them and showed them along the way that they could rely on Him and trust in Him, that He would supply them with manna and quail each and every day in the wilderness, and that He would never leave them day or night, that He was always there. It was also an adventure where something new was learned, namely that they could depend on Yahweh each and every day for food and protection. Slowly and yes, painfully, they traveled 40 years in the wilderness, unlearning what they had from Egypt and discovering what it meant to be the people of God. I would submit to you that each year works very similarly with us, and 2021 will be no different. We often have to unlearn some bad habits that we picked up maybe we shouldn't have from the year before. We can make our resolutions. That's why we do that, because we know we have some bad habits, to give up some of those familiar things and come up with some better things. And that's all good. It's also good that some familiar things give way to the new things, the new surprises, the new ways to grow, the new experiences that reshape us and make us who we are. And with each one that we encounter, each new thing that comes to us that was once unknown, we have opportunity to know the Lord more fully as the Israelites did. So let us also remember that the Lord who led the Israelites into the wilderness remains with us day and night in this new year too. For the Israelites, it was about the journey to the promised land that made the nation strong enough to enter the promised land. The journey prepared them to know what their ally could do for them. Now, there are lots of unknowns ahead, frankly, for this new year. And yet we always begin in hope for something better, and we should. We will see them as an adventure, or some will see them as fear. We will know new joys, or we will re-experience old anxieties. We will gain new wisdom, or we will do something foolish. Who knows what this new year will bring? All I invite you to do in the beginning of this year and throughout 21 is to trust in the one who made himself known to us. We know him through his word. We know him through his coming into the flesh, into humanity, to die on a cross and save us from our sins. We know him as the constant presence through his resurrection. As Hebrews 13:8 says, he is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And so he is that fixed point for us to count on and aim for and direct our way with that bearing. So I encourage you to take time to get to know the one who is traveling with you this year and to trust in him. In the meantime, I pray that the Lord would bless you and be with you in this new year, that he would open up new travels, new opportunities for you, that he would grant you his favor in such a way that you could grow in ways that you hadn't even considered before, and that in all things your faith would be more full because of it. And so the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you with his favor and give you his peace. I'm Pastor Woods. Happy New Year. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye.